Hello, everybody. So Detroit comes in at 3-8-1. Their offense is seventh in total offense at 377.2, seventh in passing yards at 271.7, 16th in sacks allowed with 31, 18th in rushing yards 105.6, tied 22nd in yards per carry at 3.9. 12th and third down percentage at 42%, and they're 13th in points per game at 23.3. Defensively, they're 29th in total defense at 398.1, 30th in passing yards allowed at 280.1, 28th in sacks at 24, 23rd in rushing yards allowed at 118.0, 18th in yards per carry allowed at 4.4, 29th in third down percentage at 45%, and they're 25th in points per game allowed at 26.2. Injury-wise, Deshaun Hand, he's out again. He was out the first time these two teams met. He is a defensive lineman that would really help them in those pass rush situations for the most part. And Matt Stafford, he's going to miss another game, which I assume means David Blau, barring anything unforeseen. Again, Austin Bryant, he's doubtful with a hip. Agnew, corner and return guy, he's questionable with an ankle. And Rashawn Melvin, another corner, he's questionable with a rib injury. But I anticipate both of those guys to be suited up as long as they want them to. Mostly Agnew's case of want them to, because a lot of his abilities are special teams. Minnesota, they come in at 8-4. Offensively, 8th in total offense at 376.6. 13th in passing yards at 239.5. Tied 7th in sacks allowed with 22. 6th in rushing yards at 137.1. They're tied for 7th in yards per carry at 4.6. I wrote that down weird. My bad. Not 21.6 yards a carry. Sorry about that. They're 8th in third down percentage with 44%. 7th in points per game at 26.6. And defensively, they have they have definitely disappointed based on what we've seen. They are 16th in total defense right now, allowing 347.4 yards a game. They're 20th in passing yards allowed at 242.9. 13th in sacks, though, with 33. 15th in rushing yards allowed at 104.5. They're tied for 14th in yards per carry allowed at 4.2. 16th in third down percentage and 11th in points per game allowed at 20.2. Injury report, it's a lot smaller than Detroit's. Thielen's doubtful, and he didn't practice all week, so that doubtful is just out, I think. Riley Reef is questionable with a concussion, but he did practice on a limited basis on Friday. So we'll see where that goes, but I would also assume it's Rashad Hill time this week, if I had to really guess. Now, the good stuff that's not a bunch of numbers that I know bore some people. So for an offense here, their defense does play a lot of man coverage and doesn't really blitz in behind it. They don't have too many, I guess, exotic things to this defense. It's pretty, straightforward. And to me, that just says get Dalvin rolling early. Like, once again, that's something that this team should be doing anyway. It's not like that's rocket science at this point. Oh, you mean give it to one of your best players? It's the easiest to get the ball to. Yeah. Which they didn't always do last year, so it's kind of nice they're doing it this time. But, yeah, you get Dalvin going early, and then you get the play action passing with a bunch of man coverage in behind it with a team that doesn't like to blitz. All of a sudden you get guys caught cheating in the backfield, and there's your big plays. So it's kind of key to get that running game going, and I'm assuming they're going to key in on it, so don't be surprised if they come out with a play action pass. And like I've said in a different video, I think they should just play their brand of football. Like, I feel like even in Seattle last week, they didn't really do that. Like, they have enough talent, even with Adam Thielen not in the game, to just do what they do best, and I don't think they ever really do that. Like, they're still, like, I get it, you want to attack their weaknesses, but at the same time, If you are designed to do this a certain way, just do that. And I just want to see them do that. I want to see these rollouts early. I want to see these pitches and these outside zones. And, I want to see these things early. I don't want to see CJ Ham getting the ball within the first 5 plays. I'm tired of that. Just get it to your playmakers. That's it. And a turnover-free game, please. So that means obviously means Kirk, don't throw it to the other team. But the other thing is don't leave Rashad Hill on an island, even though this team isn't getting that many sacks. Trey Flowers will make Rashad Hill look stupid if he's left one-on-one enough times just because he's Rashad Hill. So you can't really just count on that, which is kind of helpful in a way to the style that they play, just because you do see a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets, especially with Adam Thielen not in the game. So he should be getting a lot of help anyway, a lot of max protects over there and things of that nature, slided or just chipping, all that good stuff. So I wouldn't think he's on an island too much, but every once in a while we see even Rashad Hill, Riley Reef with the likes of Khalil Mack one-on-one. It's like, I understand sometimes you need to put them one-on-one, but just limit this as much as you possibly can. So defensively, David Blau making his first career road start, I believe. So they're down to their 3rd quarterback after Driscoll and Matthew Stafford. So that's a thing. They did handle Kenny Golladay well last time, but it would be nice to see someone attempt to cover Marvin Jones. Just a thought. He didn't last time. And just take the run game out early. Don't give the young quarterback any crutches to lean on, because once you start giving him things like that, especially in a road game, just if you take away the running, then all of a sudden you take away some of this play action passing, and then you're kind of in this straight drop back game, whether that's from under center or just shotgun, and you're just pretty much asking your quarterback to get hit all the time because now the edge rushers just pin their ears back. So if you can put a young quarterback that hasn't started many games to go into that kind of situation, I would trust a Mike Zimmer defense, which hopefully still can at least outsmart a 3rd-string young quarterback. But at the same time, backup quarterbacks against this team tend to do well. So that's another area of improvement I'm looking for. But the main one is a continued improvement in the pass coverage, because I do think for the most part we saw that last week, even though you'll say, well, Rhodes got that one big play on him, which is true. He did. He can't be doing that. But for the most part throughout the game, that kind of stuff wasn't happening. And they were actually playing pretty well in the back end. But they weren't playing the run at all. So, yeah. Let's see if we can get some kind of continued improvement in pass coverage, but this time let's see if we can combine this with a way to where they aren't getting 10 yards of carry on first down, because that'd be super helpful. And I do think we might be able to get some turnovers this week, just because if you can make the quarterback hold the ball a little bit longer, that gives Griff and Hunter time to get there. You could get some strip sacks or some bad decisions, and it's a pretty loud environment. So I would think with the young quarterback coming in, you could be looking at some potential turnovers here. And so I do have Minnesota winning the game 31-17, which this is just a game where Minnesota kind of has to do what they're supposed to do. Don't overthink this. Just go in. You know this opponent. They're very familiar with you, and vice versa. So just go in, do what you're supposed to do. It's not as good of a team as they probably should be, but they did start off pretty well. Pretty sad that we are here at 3-8-1 now with Detroit, but is what it is. Like to know what your comments are down below. Liking, subscribing always helps. Until next time, I bid y'all adieu.